Okay, hello again. We are going to attach our ribbon to our 4.5 by 2 3/4 inch tags. And I'm going to cut I think I'm going to cut 7 6-inch strips of this ribbon, and I need 8 of them, so I'm just going to cut 8. Okay, so now I have 6-inch strips of my ribbon, and I'm going to fold the ribbon in half since it is kind of wide. And then I'm going to feed it through. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either tie it You can either do it like this and tie it in a knot on the top, and then sometimes your ribbon strands don't go straight up, or you can take this and fold it in half, and you can feed the tail end, just kind of fold that, and feed the tail end, I believe through the back. You just kind of have to wiggle it in there, and then stick these 2 ends through your little loop that you've pulled up, and then you can pull. And then you have your tags, and I think I did that backwards. But I'm going to tie mine, so I'm just going to take my one end, I'm going to fold it in half again, just to kind of form a smaller opening to get through here. So then I'm just going to feed that through. And I'm going to pull it, and I'm just going to tie this in a knot right here on the top. So there is my ribbon for that tag. And I'm just going to clip it. Make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm just going to clip these little strands, make them a little smaller at an angle. And they're not always going to stand up straight, so that's okay. And we're going to go ahead and do the rest of these. And this part's not much fun either, it's kind of repetitive. So I'll just tie this one in a knot too. And sometimes your ribbon just twists in whatever direction it wants to go at the time. So after you clip the little tails off, we'll just see how it lands. Whichever way it wants to go. And the ribbon doesn't really do anything. except add some cuteness to the card, I guess. Because usually when I pull my tags out of my albums, I don't normally pull on the ribbon part anyway, so I just add it for a little something extra. Pull up a little more. And we'll just clip it. Make sure it's nice and tight. I think after doing this for a while, I always think I can tie perfect knots. Because I've done so many of them. This is normally how I put the ribbon on my tags. I've done it the other way, but it's not very tight because it's not a knot, and it just sits, and I'm always afraid that my ribbons are going to come undone. So I'd rather have it where it's pretty secure, especially if you have one that people are going to be looking at a lot. I have people come over and they're always wanting to look at some of the little mini albums I've made. I have some in my living room on our entertainment stand that I have completed, that I have pictures in, and people like to look at photos, and the way I display my photos is in my mini albums. So they kind of take a beating after a while. Sorry, that was my phone again. People just don't know when I'm taping, do they? Okay, so then cut the jaws off that one. This one's kind of wacky. See, it just goes whichever direction it wants to go in. So no big deal. Like I said, they're just kind of for some added decoration. Gives it some character. And I'm almost done. I know this is probably boring for those of you watching. But on my webcam is how I record these videos, and I don't have a pause feature on my settings to kind of pause, do this, and then come back. I have to try to piece my videos together, and when I do that, it takes it out of the webcam and into a different program, and then it takes longer to upload. So I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm sorry if those of you that are either ahead of this step or don't want to watch all this. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that yet without having to piece the videos together. But I am almost done. I have one more to go, and then we'll be done with our small tags. And I'll go a little short. Cut this one to match it. Last one, guys. Alright. Thank goodness I'm done. Can't say that that's the funnest part about making mini albums, is some of this repetitive stuff. But I like some of my albums, when I make them, there's a lot of parts throughout the album that I keep pretty consistent. You know, that's just my style, my way of doing it. Okay, so now all of our tags are finally done. Sorry about that, it took almost 10 minutes to do that. So then we have these cute little ribbons on there. And then what I do is I try to decide where I'm going to stick them. So, I think we'll do, and I usually look at the larger tags. I have a red one in here and a light pink one on that side. So I think I'll do like a bright pink and a white one. And this side we'll do these lighter pinks. No, this one. And we're going to skip this one because we're going to make a little book that goes in there, and we're going to skip this one because we'll do that book on that side too. So then we'll do the brighter pink and the white, and then back here we'll do these two pinks. So there's my tags for those pockets. And then the leftover paper, I'll start with the front. The leftover paper is what I use to map my tags with. And I'll show you once I unbury it over here that I have this huge pile of the scraps from yesterday. I'm going to take out the front and back cover pieces because I don't want to repeat those again. Okay, so I'm going to do these first two tags, and I don't want them to be the same as the paper that I used on the front. So I'm just going to randomly pick, I'm just getting out the smaller pieces of some of these papers. I'm just going to pick, I really like these polka dots, but then I have this piece that has some of the little glittered hearts on the bottom, so I'm going to start with that one. And I'm going to adhere it to the brighter pink. And my measurements for the mat on this is going to be, where's my ruler? It's going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. So I'm going to cut this paper. Step out of my way. I'm going to do my 3 3/4, so I know I get my length or my height. And then I'm going to use the small heart, and I need 2 1/2. I'm going to move it over just a little bit so I don't cut off this one heart on this side. And then I flip it over and line it up on my 2 1/2. And cut off this little edge here. So then I have my 3 little hearts. And I'm just going to adhere that to this piece like that. So let's go ahead and attach that one. I'm just going to use my ATG gun again. I'm going to go down all 4 sides. And I'm just going to line that up to where there's an even border around all the way, and then we have a matted tag. So then I'm going to, let's see, which other one we can use? I think we'll use this one with the foiled hearts. And that piece not gonna work. So we'll cut this one at the same measurement, so 3 3/4. 5 2 1/2. And we'll adhere that to this white one right here. And just press that down, and then we have tag number 2. So we'll repeat it for these two and make sure that we don't do the same ones that are on this page. So I think I want to use this little candy one. So we'll go 3 3/4. And 2 1/2 again. And I'm not sure which one I want to put that on, so I'm just going to set it down and cut the second piece. And I think I want to do maybe this. Maybe this one. This kind of takes a little bit longer, only because I don't want my tags to blend in with whatever papers I have on these sides. So I'm good for this one. I'll just adhere this one down. Tape hanging over there. Okay. And let's put this one down. Line it up right there. Then we have that tag. And you know, yep, there we go. I was on the wrong page. And we're going to do this one. Thought I messed up there again. And then we have that one. So I'm not going to do the other ones, but you get the idea. You just mat the tags. So then we have all of our little tags done. And then our bigger tags. Now, the decision I need to make next is whether I should use the 1-inch circle punch to punch out the notches or just use ribbon tools. But I think I'm actually gonna let me see. I want to be able to put a full 4x6 picture for what I'm going to use this for. So, no, maybe so indecisive. I shouldn't be doing this on camera. I have some little templates. There's a 4x6. There's a 3x4. And they should have 3.5 by 5 somewhere. And of course it's not in here. Oh, go figure, huh? But it's not where I left it. Okay, well, 4x6 isn't going to fit on there. So I think I'm going to make this where I can fit at least a 3.5 by 5. So I'm going to go ahead and do the notches. Okay, I'm going to show you how I do this. First I'm going to pull all my tags out. And then in between these little flaps is kind of where I center my 1-inch circle punch. So I'm not sure how much of this you guys are going to be able to pick up on the camera. I don't know if I can get a good angle and be able to look at it straight on. So I just take this and try to center it between those two flaps. And it's not going to be, you know, completely perfect, but, and then I just punch it out. So then, as you can see, I have this little notch punched out right here. So then I'll just continue doing, and I do the back side first because this part is too bulky to fit inside, so I do it the opposite way. So I'm just going to pull the next two tags out. And I'm just going to whip through this real quick. Line it up. And I just put the circle punch halfway through, so it just punches out these little half circles. Okay, and then we come upon the middle. I think I did skip the middle one. Okay, that's fine. I'll go back to that one. It's a little different doing this on camera than it is to just sit and make one and kind of whip through them like I'm used to. Now for this one, this is just the single bag. So you can actually use this part as a guide to cut the other side. I don't recommend cutting through both sides with the punch. They're really not designed to punch through that much because we do have paper on here. So I'm just going to line up my punch with the one that was previously punched out, and then you see that you get this little notched out half circle there, and we'll skip that one. So we'll do these. And then the middle one is going to be slightly different because we have to, it's got a middle piece. So let me put all my tags back, that way I don't get them all completely out of order here. There's nothing there. And the last two over here. Just slip those down in there. Okay, so then the middle one, I'm going to take out this one side and just punch this one side, and make sure you don't punch through this middle bag because that's kind of what's dividing your tags for this one. And we'll flip it over, take that one out, and punch this side. I'm going to try to make it as even as I can with this side because these flaps are way off. So I'm just going to line it up with where the punch was on this side. That seems to be pretty even there. My flaps were kind of cockeyed in that one. I push those in too far. There we go. Okay, so now we have all the notches cut out. And we're going to have to stop the video here. I'm at 25 minutes, so in the next video we will continue with photo mats.